masters of adaptation, true survival artists. They get by on what nature provides. Seasons and the weather determine their everyday rhythm. They mostly live in barren landscapes of raw beauty, always in harmony with nature. Herders, the guardians of our earth. Their animals graze on a quarter of the Earth's land surface and feed millions of people, sustainably and organically. One of the oldest ways of life points the way to an ecological future. It's time to pay them tribute. For generations, the Rajasthan dry land in northwest India has been home to the Raika, a pastoral community. 45-year-old Madaram's camel herd has scattered throughout the dry forest. With their animals, the Raika make optimal use of the dry areas in the semi-desert of Rajasthan. Through centuries of experience, they know exactly how resilient nature is. They know about the properties of forage plants, and they conserve the vegetation. When food grows scarce, they simply move on with their animals.
We call the whole area here the Goza, the pasture. They can graze wherever they want. It seems they're far away. I don't know what's going on.
There is an enormous variety of plants. Acacia, aark and kejri trees are interspersed with mimosa plants and tamarisks. The camels can choose from among a wide variety of flavors. With their soft lips, the animals only pull a couple of leaves from each tree, thereby encouraging their growth.
We raise them. They trust us, and we bring them to good pastures. We take care of them and have loved them since they were children. They know us and know they belong to us. We are their keepers. We give them water and food. That's why they trust us so much.
Madaram also enjoys the forest. Fresh goji berries sweeten his day. Fortunately, his herd is back together again.
His name is Kaji, and he is Mumal. And the one who's coming now is named Kaski. That's Dadu, the boy, with his mother Nakuji. That's Mira, the big one right up front over there.
The Raika's relationship with their animals is unique. Hardly any other pastoral culture cultivates such closeness between people and their livestock. The herders say the camels are like their children.
Does that mean to keep going? Yes, that means keep going. When I want them to stop, I call Jojo. When I've lost a camel, I call... When they hear that, they come running. The god Shiva created camels for his wife Parvati. The camel originally had 5 legs and so was unable to run well. That made goddess Parvati very sad. She asked Shiva to please do something about it. Shiva pushed one of the camel's legs upward. That is now its hump. We have received the blessing of the gods, Shiva and Pabuchi Ratore. So we must take good care of the camels. We, the Raika, are responsible for them.
तो पाबू राठौड़ ने और शिव जी ने हमको बनाया राइका को इन पशुओं को सराहने के लिए ऊँट रकान शिव जी ने लाया और पाबू जी ने लाई.
As semi-nomads, the herdsmen wander with their animals all year long, sometimes up to 20 kilometers a day. For centuries, the Hindu caste of the Rabari and Raika was highly regarded. They bred the camels for the military expeditions of the Maharajas. The animals are their livelihood and a part of their cultural identity. Many of their folk tales revolve around camels. Yet the pastoralists' survival is in acute danger. Modern India is booming, as it is here in the small city of Sadri, less than 20 kilometers from Madaram's herd. Cities spread out rapidly, and an increasing amount of pasture land is used intensively for farming. The result is the loss of living space for herders and camels. In the rural region of Pali, many of the Raika herders now also have goats, sheep, and water buffalo to help them get by. Or they work as agricultural day laborers on the side. The younger ones would just as soon seek their fortunes in the big cities. Madaram also makes his home in the Pali district. He lives on the small farmstead with his wife, the children, his parents, and his brother's family. Binding their pagadis is part of the morning ritual for Raika men. Every herder has his own wrapping technique. The bright red color marks them as livestock breeders.
The older ones can still wear a red turban if they want to, but they can also wear a white pagadi.
What are you doing today?
We have to bring the dung away soon. The farmer called, he needs it.
All of it?
Yes.
I hope he pays as much as he did last time.
I think he will. Drink your tea and then get off to school.
Madaram's father worked as a herder until he was 70. Today he lives an ascetic religious life as a sadhu.
I'll just quickly bring my father some tea.
The Raika culture is patriarchal, like practically all pastoral cultures. But it's often women who pull the strings in the background, bargain over purchases, and keep track of the family's money. An old Raika saying goes, "The men are stubborn as oxes, but the women are clever as foxes." Madaram feels drawn to his camels. They spent the night in an area outside the village. Most of his animals came from herders who had to quit.
It used to be easy to find a place to graze, but it's become a problem. There used to be more plants and trees, but people have cut down the trees and destroyed the forest.
Madaram must take his animals to increasingly distant areas in order to find pasture land. 30 kilometers further on, we meet Hararam Raika. He's also a camel herder, 42 years old and unmarried. Every day, he drives with his nephews to his camels, which graze in the Kumbalgarh Wildlife Sanctuary at the foot of the Aravalli mountain range. Hararam's herd has gotten smaller. There used to be 50 animals. Now, there are only 20. The camel population has declined rapidly in Rajasthan over the last 3 decades. While there was still 1.5 million animals in the 1980s, today there are only 250,000 left.
Always let the camels graze near you. Don't drive them so fast, or they'll run away.
In recent years, the government has undertaken various measures to combat the shrinking of the herds. In 2014, the camel was ceremoniously named the official animal of Rajasthan. Slaughtering the animals and selling them outside the country was prohibited by law. And the herders began to receive subsidies.
That was just a tick. Unfortunately, our situation has worsened since the last change of government. We suddenly stopped receiving subsidies. We don't understand it. Now the Indian government wants to determine that we're not allowed to graze here anymore. The entire area is going to be turned into a national park. We're in a difficult position.
Hararam and his camels are supposed to make way for lions and tigers. Wild animals are going to be brought in to attract tourists, and a fence will prohibit the herders from grazing here. Forestry officials repeatedly block the paths of Hararam and his colleagues.
They bother us and even demand money. Then they say nobody is allowed to let camels graze here anymore. Or they make up other excuses. They tell us this place is closed. They push us back violently. There is no longer a place for us.
Yet without traditional pastures, Hararam and the other herders can't feed their animals. The Council of Elders has started meeting more frequently and consults with other herding communities.
He says they are beginning to cut down our forests, even where the Garazia people live. First of all, we must attempt to be heard. Right, we must not lose. If we lose, we will never again be able to defend ourselves. If they decide on the national park, they will bring tigers here. Once they're here, no one will ever be able to get rid of them.
Hanwant Singh Rathore heads the Lokit Pashupalak Sanstan organization, or LPPS, which represents the herders' interests.
The main problem is that the government does not listen to them. Our organization and other NGOs make sure that they can engage in a dialogue. Today we want to resolve the following. If the government is incapable of doing anything for the herders, we will file a complaint with the Supreme Court of Rajasthan. The forest belongs to us, not the father of another. Rivari, you lead the fight, we support you. The forest belongs to us, not the father of another.
In the meantime, Hararam has a visitor. Can you please pound this into small pieces? Really small. Dali Bai, a traditional Raika animal healer, is helping the animals with digestive problems. A mixture of salt, turmeric and bitter alumina should help.
परंपरित हमारे ये देसी इलाज से
This is an old medicine based on traditional healing methods. I learned this from my father. I watched him over and over again. Conventional medicine just doesn't compare. We treat the animals with the medicine for 7 days. It penetrates deeply and helps ease the pain. Careful.
I'll hold him.
This valuable knowledge of healing can't be found in books.
Ram Ram. Ram Ram. Hello. Harila, is everything all right at home? Are the camels healthy?
Yes, indeed.
Are you having any kind of trouble here in the jungle?
Wildlife biologist and Professor Anil Changani looks in now and then. For years, he has researched the ecosystem in the Kumbhalgarh Wildlife Sanctuary to learn how wild animals and livestock live together.
The seeds of grasses, seeds of the shrubs and trees have been dispersed by the different domestic animal species. So all the forest structure you see here is not been planted by the forest department or any other NGOs. It has been planted and regenerated all together with different animal species.
Scientific studies show that regular grazing increases plant biodiversity. It is a sensitive ecosystem that has been kept in balance by herders and their animals for generations.
Almost 50 to 60% diet of all the wild animals are dependent on the domestic animals. So once you stop grazing, that balance is totally useless and ecology is going down. So that is a threat to the biodiversity. I think in Indian situation, wildlife and humans and livestock are the integral part. Basically, we cannot separate them. So in my opinion, if they should be together as they used to be from years together.
The herders meet regularly in the Camel and Conservation Centre to share experiences. Their joint political and social lobbying work strengthens the community. The organisation makes it possible.
Yes, thanks to the support of the organisation, we have more camels again.
German veterinarian Ilse Köhler-Olafsson heads the organisation. It's important to save our traditional breeds, but that isn't possible if we don't have rights, and that is precisely our message. Pastoralists' rights is an important concept that we have developed here.
We have also visited international conferences with the herders, for instance, in Interlaken and in Kenya, and we fought for their rights there.
Ilse Köhler-Olafsson, a veterinarian and anthropologist, came to do research in Rajasthan 30 years ago. Since then, she has spent most of each year in the region. As an internationally recognized expert, she fights for the preservation of pastoral communities around the world. Locals lovingly call her the Camel Lady. Ram Ram, are you doing well? It was very difficult when I arrived here. I was not at all prepared with regard to the language. I really wanted to work in Africa, and India was only a temporary stopover for me. Then I fell under the spell of the Raika's close relationship with their camels. The other thing was that they asked me for help. Right from the start, they said, "Our camels are dying. Do something for us." Looking back, I see that this was the right path. Yes, I'm glad things turned out this way.
Rückblickend sehe ich, dass das total auf dem richtigen Weg war. Also ich bin froh, dass es so gekommen ist. Ja.
Ilse often drives out to the herders to advise them, as a vet and activist. Today she looks in on Madaram. How much wheat do you get for one wagon of dung? 300?
No, 3 sacks. Diri collects the dung.
Yes, I clean up. You don't need to be shy. Doesn't she suckle?
She doesn't want to yet. Maybe later. Try it.
According to traditional knowledge, the animals eat from 36 different plants. These are practically all trees that were used and described in the Ayurveda as having some sort of healing effect. And of course it's clear that when camels eat these medical plants, it also improves the quality of the milk.
Wenn Kamele diese Heilpflanzen fressen, dass sich das dann auch in der Qualität der Milch niederschlägt.
Until recently, the Raika only used the milk for their own needs. There was never discussion about commercializing camel milk. After all, the people were in service to the camels, not the other way around. But that is changing. Now, camel milk is considered superfood all over the world. With it, the herders see an opportunity for their future. They hope the sale of milk will secure an income for them. Every morning, Hararam delivers nearly 12 litres of fresh camel milk to the small Kumbalgarh camel dairy. It's an LPPS project.
Until now, only 2 to 4 families were able to benefit from it. But altogether, there are nearly 50 families here in Pali with camels. Not all of them can sell camel milk yet. That's a problem.
Camel milk is considered extremely nutritional. It contains 5 times as much vitamin C as cow's milk, hardly any sugar, and half as much fat. The milk is said to have a healing effect. Many parents of children with autism swear by the animal's milk. In addition to milk, the dairy also produces cheese. The dairy's products are especially popular in the Arab region. We're demonstrating that it's possible to preserve the camel in Rajasthan by developing a market for camel milk. We're demonstrating it here on the regional level, in our small area. But in order to really have an effect on all Rajasthan, the market for camel milk will have to expand considerably.
Hello? They come from China and want to buy milk powder.
50 camels.
Yes. He gets 32,000 rupees a month for his camel milk.
30 to 35,000 rupees from camel milk.
3 businesswomen have come to pay a visit. At home, they produce donkey's milk, marketing it successfully as a food and beauty product. Now they want to try this with camel milk from Rajasthan. The market for camel milk in India is not very big yet. Ilse and the Chinese women reach an agreement. It is a first step toward maintaining the herds.
Supporting their livelihoods and conserving the camel, which is Rajasthan's state animal and threatened by extinction due to lack of economic viability.
Ah, Madaram, how are you? The Raika and LPPS definitely want to avoid selling out the pastoral culture. A number of hurdles still remain. If the business were to develop, nearly 100 Raika families could potentially live from the sale of milk to China. Madaram's future would be secured.
I have herded camels since my childhood. I have no use for other animals. I love camels. I went away for a while and worked elsewhere, including Mumbai. I didn't like it there at all, so I came back. Now that I'm back, I feel good.